Hello and welcome.
We should just keep this all in. Oh, man.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Bad Pitch Energy. Thanks for joining us. Of course, we're as serious and as competent as ever as I just start recording without telling Robyn, and the countdown is on. But how was your week, Robyn?
It was fine, life was life,
Mhm.
but, always love the weekends when we
Yes.
can chill and have a little yap.
Yes, absolutely. And we are, in fact, doing that. Special shout out to our fans listening in Vietnam right now.
Hello, Vietnam.
We're really excited. Hopefully we'll bring the show on the road, and I think our first stop may be Vietnam.
No, because literally, what happened this week? Was it Wednesday when all of a sudden, on every single account, it felt like bots were following us
Yeah.
in mass? Especially on TikTok,
Yeah.
where we all of a sudden got 75 Vietnamese followers in a row.
Yes. There was not one that was not Vietnamese, and you could very easily and clearly tell from the name. So yeah, that was weird.
That was strange because even on Instagram, we got 20
Yeah.
at once.
It was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird. But just a special shout out to our Vietnamese followers, as we are an international show, and I'm really excited to check in with you this week, Robyn. What are we drinking?
So our drink of the week is prickly pear margaritas because it's pink, and we love pink.
And because we had a prickly week.
And we had a prickly week.
In life and in the Major League Baseball off season.
Just so for our listeners who don't know us, Tom and I do work full-time jobs.
Yes, this is not our only job.
And one or maybe both of us are also in school as well. So this is something we're doing because it's fun for us.
Yeah.
And not because we are necessarily trying to become influencers in a way, but this is just
neither of us are Nepo babies.
This is just a chill way for us to no, because
Debrief.
we were talking about at the Astros Fest, neither of us had that inherent content creator drive to pull out our phone and record the whole time. And it wasn't until afterwards we're like, oh, we should probably maybe put some pictures up on our Instagram.
We have to do better with that, and we will in the future. But it was a very dry week in the MLB offseason, and I'm over it at this point. Let's just let's get games started, ready to go.
I think as the last I saw was 17. My math could be wrong. 17 days until pitchers and catchers report.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
It's coming up.
And thank God, because I miss baseball.
I do too. I mean, today's the first day of February, and we are finally at that point in the calendar where you can see spring training in the distance, and with that comes excitement of World Baseball Classic as well. But it's a pretty lame week in the MLB offseason when the biggest story is Harrison Bader signing, which did help create a future Astros legend.
Yeah, Kai Wei Tang. Welcome to Houston.
Welcome to Houston, and we're really excited to have you.
With your Asian player
with your negative .5 WAR from the 2025 season.
I will say, so it does seem like he mostly pitched in the minor league last year. He did have a couple major league games. I will say, our pitching lab is very good.
Yep.
And we have fixed pitchers before, and I can see him being another sneak, solid pitcher in our rotation or in our bullpen.
I agree.
I'm excited.
If there's one thing the Astros can do, is they can rehabilitate a pitcher.
Yeah.
And they have a very good eye for looking at guys who are out there on the waiver wire or kind of the low hanging fruit to be acquired in a roster crunch, like was the case here.
Yeah.
And
you can say Ryan Weiss was one of those.
Yeah.
Even Mike Burrows.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. If we are in a situation though where he's a high leverage 7th or 8th inning relief pitcher, I think we're in trouble. But let's hope that if that is the case, it's because he's just shocked the world and has become one of the elite relief pitchers in the game. But we will see.
But yeah, that's probably the biggest move that happened this week.
Yeah.
But since we are a baseball meets culture
Yes.
podcast, there have been
Yes.
some more, I guess, more fun culture stuff that we can chat about.
Yeah. What's happened in the world of baseball meets culture this week, Robyn?
So there are a couple things.
Mhm.
First on the list is the WBC.
Yeah.
It seems like players are not getting insurance.
Mhm.
So their teams are not giving them permission to play with their country.
Yeah. And this seems like it's a newer problem. World Baseball Classic only happens every few years, and suddenly they're not insuring a lot of guys. There's a third party insurance company that will offer insurance. So if a player does get injured in the World Baseball Classic, like we've seen over
Mhm.
the years, their contract is insured. And so they will continue to get paid, and the team that they normally play for 160 games won't have to pay them while they're out. Makes total sense to me. We've seen a lot of high profile injuries.
Right.
Edwin Diaz missing the entire season.
Jose Altuve
Jose
last time he
Altuve,
played, he got a broken
yep,
hand.
missed about a third of the season. And so I think we're now seeing guys being denied insurance based on like pretty
Mhm.
small procedures they've had done. So like, Carlos Correa has kind of a chronic injury history,
Mhm.
and so he was not given insurance. Jose Altuve, because he had a minor procedure in the offseason, was not given insurance. Francisco Lindor, because he also had a minor procedure done, was not given insurance. And so we're seeing now a lot of guys who are big names in this
Mhm.
tournament
Get permission to play.
not get permission to play. I mean, here's the thing. They could play,
Right.
and they would be responsible, or they would just not get paid
Right.
if they happen to get hurt. So like, let's just say worst case scenario, just using the Edwin Diaz example again, let's say he were to be playing, he wasn't given insurance. If he misses the entirety of the season like he did in 2022, I believe,
Was it 23? I
23,
think it was the last.
2023, yes, he would not get paid by the New York Mets. They would not be responsible for paying him, and he essentially just wouldn't get a salary. That is not a risk that these players are willing to take.
Right, especially when it's like millions of dollars on the line.
Correct. And for a tournament that, like, while very exciting,
It's not.
doesn't really mean much. Like,
It's more of like a what's the word? Exhibition
yeah,
type of.
it means a lot to the players,
Yeah.
which is great. But you know, at the end of the day, the World Baseball Classic is not paying their salary.
Right.
So I understand.
So.
I understand both sides here.
Right, but now you do have the president of the Puerto Rican Baseball Association
Yeah.
saying, like, I might pull my team out because this isn't fair. I'm not getting any, like, the big name stars playing for me now. This feels targeted. Is it targeted? I don't think so. But it does, in a way, we now have, like, countries going, is it worth even putting together a crew to play in this tournament?
I I can definitely see where they're coming from. I think also part of the fun of the World Baseball Classic is, yes, like
Yeah.
seeing players, especially star players, like kind of shuffle around to different teams. And like,
Yes, yes.
you're in a situation where, Pete Alonso and Aaron Judge are both on the same team. Like, that's cool to see.
Right.
But at the same time, another part of the fun of the World Baseball Classic for me was seeing players who are not big names, who are either
Playing in, like,
career
their home
minor league
or playing in
players.
their home country.
Yeah, like, who are suddenly like, you're a no name, not to use that in a like a negative way, but like you're a young pitcher from, let's just say, Dominican Republic,
Mhm.
and suddenly you're pitching Aaron Judge. Like, how cool is that?
Right.
That's like a really
Right.
cool part about the tournament. So I, number one, I've always been a little bit puzzled about Puerto Rico being
Mhm.
its own team.
I mean, I'm not, truthfully.
I I always okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it just like, I don't know, I guess like the nerd in me is like, well, they're not technically their own country. Although you'd be fooled by seeing some of the BS that
Mhm.
the right is saying about Bad Bunny, like, and they're about to lose their minds a week from now as he performs what I think is going to be a really awesome halftime show.
Mhm.
But if Puerto Rico's so upset about like not being able to field the team, go play for the US.
But the thing is, like, you do have players who, like, not going, not this is not shady. This is not shady. But you have players like Nolan Arenado,
Mhm.
who in the historically played for the U.S., but
Right.
now he's playing for Puerto Rico
Yep.
because he doesn't really have the space on the U.S. squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It'll be
so that's why
interesting.
sometimes having other countries like that gives other players a chance to shine.
Mhm.
But with news like this, does this take the juice out of the tournament away? Are we going to be seeing an inevitable Japan versus
Yeah.
USA matchup again?
Which, if you believe the tinfoil hats on Twitter, that is what, MLB is trying to orchestrate right now, is just another, uh, US and Japan
hmm
championship, which was fun, no
hmm
doubt, when it did happen a few years ago, but, um, I don't think that's the case. I still think this is gonna be a very exciting tournament
hmm
for the reason I mentioned before, the fact that you're going to see players you don't normally see playing in
hmm
high leverage spots. I think it's gonna really be fun. However, I do think that in future years, they should either rework the structure of this tournament
hmm
to be more of a in-season tournament, the way NBA just recently did, or find a way to get these guys insured, because
Right.
you do have big star players who are good for the growth of this sport who want to play
And
and are not
represent.
able to, and represent their countries.
I mean, the Dominican Republic does also have a pretty solid squad.
Yes, they
So
do.
they could be the wild card or the dark horse in
Yeah,
this whole matchup. I mean,
yeah,
with Vladdy, J Ram,
yep,
Juan Soto.
yeah. I think they could be the dark horse of this
Yeah.
tournament. Um, I regret to say I don't think Team Israel is gonna be a big
I don't understand why they have a team. This is like so FIFA way back when kicked Russia out, right?
Mhm.
When they even started any aggression against Ukraine.
Yeah,
Okay, fine, understandable. Their unwillingness to kick Israel out, despite the fact that they've been taken to the International Criminal Justice Court several times.
mhm,
And as well as like even they themselves are recognizing, oh, there are 70,000 people dead.
yeah.
Okay. That's like, oh, that's definitely lowballing it. But like, I don't understand why other
Mhm.
international sports organizations are still refusing to kick out this aggressor.
Yeah,
And I think that also ruins the spirit of these types of events because you're essentially rewarding someone who probably should not be rewarded.
I agree. I agree. I mean, if it's any consolation, they will likely not be making it very far
I
in the
know, but at the same time, it's
tournaments.
like, why are you here?
I know. It is weird, and I think, um, I'm curious to see. I know, like, Harrison
Yeah.
Bader does normally play for Team Israel.
I mean,
Um,
Colton Gordon pitches for them.
yeah, they
So
don't
they don't
feel
have
like
like
a ton of.
no, they're not
Yeah.
like it's again those like it's those Team USA people who
Mhm.
don't have a spot on the USA team. That's like the reality.
Pretty much, pretty
So
much. That will be interesting. We had another interesting kind of
yeah.
culture baseball moment this week
Yes.
with, the reveal of the MLB The
MLB The
Show
Show cover
cover.
art. So they did say it's going to be a repeat player, which I did not honestly. I don't really like when they do that.
But here's my theory as to why. My theory is they released sort of a teaser,
Mhm.
maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago.
Mhm.
Didn't mention anything about who all would be on the cover, but,
Mhm.
like, the reveal, and the color scheme was very blue and orange,
Mhm.
but not Astros blue and orange, not Mets blue and orange, it was Detroit Tigers blue and orange.
Yeah.
And so the kind of theory online
Was
was
that
it was gonna be Tarik Skubal,
right?
and
Which
why wouldn't it be?
he just won the Cy
He
Young.
just won the si like, he is arguably
The
top 5 overall player in the game,
like arguably the best pitcher in
the
the game as well.
arguably the best pitcher, yes. And so that would make total sense
Right.
to me.
Yeah.
I think MLB chickened out because there is, some indication at least that he is traded, if not before the season starts, during the season, and it would just be a bad look to have the cover of MLB The Show be playing for another team by the time the season like starts or concludes or whatever it might be. And so they release some like weirdly worded statement saying that there won't be a new cover athlete. And then the next day, who do they reveal?
Aaron Judge, Captain America himself. So this is one of those where I think we'll be talking about this more in a separate episode. But I think Aaron Judge is one of those who you recognize is an incredible player. He always sets some new like home run record each year or whatever.
Yeah.
He is just also one of those who kind of disappears once October rolls around. And I don't think he's ever going to get a ring, and I am smiling because that kind of brings me just a little bit of joy, you know? But no. So even on this is what was really funny to me was because this will be our third Cutter's King mention at this point. But he made some tweet about it. And the way that these internet trolls do. And a Yankees fan was like, he has since deleted this tweet, this Yankees fan, but he tweeted, "I know this is like a rage bait tweet, da 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 da, but this is the list of all of Aaron Judge's like awards and accolades, not to mention that he is also the captain of the Yankees and the captain of Team USA." And it's one of those things where it's like, I'm like, I understand you want to defend your star player, but then I opened the picture and the awards were like Player of the Month type awards, or the one that cracked me up was the Joe DiMaggio Toast of the Town Award. Like, what is that?
Wait, Robyn, he won the Joe DiMaggio Toast of the Town? Well, no wonder he's on the cover of the show 2 times.
Hang the banner,
That's a big deal. The Toast of the Town. Oh my gosh.
No, and I didn't notice he won in 2017 and 2022, both times when the Astros.
And to that I'll say, millennial Yankee fans are the worst. And they are the worst. They're the worst. Because they have not experienced that winning culture that a Yankees fan in their 40s or 50s has experienced. They just had a little bit of like, oh, my dad said they won every few years that, you know, all these, but they like they've been conditioned to believe that they're winners, but they're not. And so congratulations, Aaron Judge. He's the only player outside of Joe Mauer from the Twins to be on the cover more than once. He was on the cover in 2018. Now he is on the cover in 2026. Again, Aaron Judge, great player. Great player. One of the best of all time.
Like, he's won MVP like multiple times because he is that good. But
during 162.
Yeah.
Not during
October.
But I here's the thing. This is a moment for Yankees fans. Like, we need to be a little bit kinder in this world. And we need to let them have this moment, because outside of Aaron Judge winning the Joe DiMaggio Toast of the Town Award, which is like, you know, it's parade worthy.
Right.
Like, this is a big moment for them. And I'm glad that they have this, because I don't think they're going to have a lot of fun during the season.
Right. Because, again, they're running the same squad, just a little bit more expensive. So, you know, good luck to them.
Yeah.
We wish them the best, and congratulations, Aaron Judge.
Congratulations, Aaron.
Being Captain America once again.
Yes. We love it. So we also had this week the MLB Top 100 lists, and we had the top 10 in each position. There were some that were pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And then there were some that were like really head scratching. What was your takeaway from that?
So, okay, so I'm going to like mention our Twitter just really quick, because I think we've kind of balanced each other out, because I'm definitely the shit poster, and you're definitely the one who engages in a bit more serious way in terms of like actual baseball knowledge and entering the baseball space. So I have made a couple shit post tweets once these rankings come out, because I think it's kind of a joke. Both the MLB Top 100 list has been released, as well as the top 10 in each position, and it's always ranked by the shredder. And the people want to know who is the shredder because it feels like an AI generated list. Because there are some very obvious snubs and some very
Mhm.
obvious head scratching moments when you look at some of these lists.
Yeah.
We can run through the MLB top 100 list really quickly if you want, or we can it's,
Who is
talk
the
about.
shredder, though?
I don't think anyone knows.
Is that, like, who was in Mar-a-Lago shredding all of the classified documents before Trump got raided?
I
Or no, I really I've never heard of the shredder
No, it's that's
before.
one thing, it's like, it's just the top 100 list by the shredder. Like,
Hmm.
it's just very much one of those things where
Okay.
people are like, I feel like it's some AI program that they set up. I mean, like, the top 10.
Can we also I'm ready for the AI bubble to burst, like,
Oh, me
I'm so
too.
sick of it.
Me too, because, we can talk about the, planet and climate implications of
Mm,
using AI all the
we
time,
could.
but, it does feel like it takes away some of the natural
Well, here's this
discourse.
our guarantee here on Bad Pitch Energy. Outside of our 90-second pilot introduction in our first episode, we don't use
We don't
ChatGPT.
use
If
ChatGPT.
you only knew, this show is not to say that Robin and I don't prep for this show,
But
but we kind of just plug and play here. And I think that's also the beauty of this is that these are just conversations that Robin and I are having anyway in the first place.
Right?
And so, we do some prep work and we have, a rundown of our show, but it's pretty much Robin arrived about an hour ago and we are now almost at the end of our first episode that we're recording today. And so, if that just goes to show, we are not an AI run show here. We're just using just the pure brain
Prayer, brain
power.
power, and our ability to Google really quickly
Yes.
while
Yes.
talking. But just real quick, the top 10 players on the top
Hmm.
100 list. Number one, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
No one's surprised. Number two, Aaron Judge. Again, no one's surprised.
Yep.
Three, Bobby Witt Jr. Four, Cal Raleigh. Five, Jose Ramirez.
Hmm.
Six, Juan Soto. Seven, Paul Skeens. Eight, Tarek Skubal. Nine, Corbin Carroll. And 10, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So I think
Yeah.
I don't think any of these names are really a surprise to anyone. I do think 3 to 10, you can probably argue
Yeah.
order, but I do think these are probably the top players.
Yeah.
However, it's the top 10 list in each position that
Hmm.
has definitely caught some attention,
Hmm.
I would say at least, because some
Yeah.
of them are really stupid.
Yeah. What
In
was
my opinion, so one of the ones that I think that was really odd was, yes, last night, the top 10 center fielders got released,
Hmm.
and number 2 was Wyatt Langford. Um, I'm sorry, excuse me?
Hmm.
He mostly played left field last year as well, so what do you mean he's the
Can you
top
talk
10
to the
center?
people about why this is a
Okay,
little bit?
I will say last night's list also kind of triggered me in a way because I did house many of those members who are listed on my fantasy baseball team
Hmm.
last year.
Yeah.
And I will say they have all burned me very badly. And
Yes.
Wyatt Langford's one of those who burned me because he was not a great bat. He was injured as well for a bit.
Hmm.
And okay, I understand that you do fantasy does take more into account how players play offensively versus defensively.
Yeah.
So I do recognize that some of these players are on this list because they are very good defensive
Yes.
outfielders. But he's one of those. I'm like, I don't think he's number 2.
Yeah.
If he was on the left fielder list, I would understand.
Hmm.
Center field, why is he here?
I think because center field is just like pretty like light position, so he had enough games played at center to qualify to be on the center field list. Can we talk about shortstop though? Because
Yes.
that's one that was a little bit weird to me. Now,
Mm-hmm.
number one being Bobby Witt Jr., of course.
Of course,
Like
he is the best shortstop in the
he
game.
is the best shortstop in the game. Corey Seager being number 2.
That's one I have beef with as
We're
well.
a little biased, but I also do have beef there.
Not to rag on the Rangers. Again, like we do have some in divisional rivalry,
Mhm.
but this is more of I don't understand the decision to rank him that high when he was injured. I want to say 70% of the year. Again, I housed him on my fantasy team last year. And I would say when he was healthy, he was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
The question is, was he healthy? I
Yeah.
swear he lived on my IL the entire year.
Mhm.
I maybe played him like 30% of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is one of those where, again, it's like, I recognize he's good. I just don't think he's number 2 good, especially when you look at who's number 8.
Who's number 8?
Why don't you tell me?
Jeremy Pena.
Yeah.
Yes. We're definitely a little bit biased here, but we try to remain objective on the
Mhm.
show. Try to remain fair and balanced.
Mhm.
But I do think Jeremy Pena now has been in the league for what, 22, 23, 24, 25, 4 full
Mhm.
seasons. We've got to give him more love here.
Yeah.
He plays
Mhm.
every day. I know he had a little bit of an injury last season, but even to an extent he played through it as much as he
Right.
could. But great defender.
Mhm.
Had if I stand correct me if I'm wrong, I think he hit over 300 last year.
I think he hit over 300 last year as well. He did.
He did 304.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
also hit leadoff, so I know he was.
OPS of
Yeah.
840. Yeah, I mean, Jeremy's a solid player. It kind of makes me a little bit afraid because are we looking at another homegrown Astro who will, very soon be
I mean,
leaving?
he's being rep by Scott Boras.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the.
But I think JP3 definitely, in my slightly biased opinion, belongs a little bit higher up on this list.
Mhm.
Francisco Lindor coming at number 3 can make sense to me. Could also see him come in at number 5, number 6.
Right.
But he is, I think, a top 5 shortstop in the game.
The other one who surprised me and being ranked lower is
Mhm.
Perdomo.
Yeah,
Geraldo Perdomo,
yeah,
excuse me, because he's another one who I think it's just because he plays for the Diamondbacks, he
yep.
does get overlooked a lot. But I
He
do
does.
think he is another one of those who, if you look at his stats, he's also a really good player.
Yes, he is. He hit 290 last
Mhm.
year, 20 home runs, 100 RBIs. But not only that, he's a really solid defender.
Mhm.
And I agree. I think to an extent, the team that you play for does
Right.
somehow in some way factor into these rankings.
Mhm.
I think there's always a big market bias to these rankings to
Right.
an extent.
Right.
And if you're a perennial playoff contender, like the Dodgers are, like the Yankees are, like
Mhm.
the Astros are, you do get a little bit of a bump because
Right.
when it comes to highlights, everybody's thinking of your performance in
Right.
October. But yeah, I think I'm excited. He's still a young enough player. He's 27 years old. I do think he's going to be just a real talent in this league long term.
Mhm.
Whether he stays with Arizona or not is a question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's, like, the one thing about the NL West, though, that kind of makes me just a little bit sad is
yeah,
that when you're competing in the same division as
hmm
the Dodgers, you do have all of these, like, young talents on the other teams in that
hmm
division who
yeah.
may or may not
I agree.
make it to the postseason.
I agree. I agree. Well, Robin, we covered a lot in a short amount of time, but of course we don't end an episode here on Bad Pitch Energy without the wild pitch of the week. What's
Alright.
yours?
So, my wild pitch of the week is I think it would be really cool to see pitchers have to bat again. So, okay, so I
Mm,
will preface this by saying that when I've only really started watching baseball after the universal designated hitter rule went into effect. So I've only really seen games
mhm,
where every lineup has a DH. So I think it would be really cool to have like 1 or 2 games a year where the pitcher also has to be back in the batting lineup. I
mhm.
understand why they took it away because
Yeah.
honestly, outside of if your name's outside of like Shohei Ohtani, pitchers can't hit.
Yeah.
No, they're terrible.
Yeah.
It's essentially just like a hole in your lineup.
Yep. Yep.
So I understand why, but I think that's also why you sometimes get those incredible clips of like Bartolo Colon's like home run.
Yes.
Because these are special moments and
Mhm.
like I kind of want us to have those special moments again.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be cool to bring back every now and then. Again, I don't think pitchers should be hitting every time they're at bat, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool if like the MLB like implemented a rule, right? Where each pitcher that is in your like 40-man roster has to have at least one at bat throughout the entire season.
Mm.
So it's up to the team when they want their pitcher to take that at bat.
Right.
But if you are a listed pitcher, starting or relief,
Mm-hmm.
on a 40-man roster, you have to take at least one at bat per season.
Okay. Interesting. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Because Bartolo Colon home run, I remember it like it was yesterday in San Diego. Probably like, and this is it's so lame to say as a Mets fan, but like probably one of my top 5 memories as a Mets fan. Like,
but like that's what makes these moments so fun because pitchers they suck at taking at bats.
They do, and it was for so long the American League had the DH way before the National League.
Yeah.
And we would see there were anytime, especially when an American League team played a National League team in the National League Stadium, these AL pitchers who are not accustomed to having the bat would get hurt. They simply did not know how to run the bases. So it made a lot of sense why they changed it. It makes the game more exciting because you have another hitter in the lineup because for the most part,
they were a hole in the lineup.
They were an automatic out, but it's like the few times you got like these just shocking fun moments, like that is baseball. That is what makes baseball fun.
And I just want, because like we can talk and beat a dead horse about ways that baseball is ruined, but I think there are these small things that you can do to bring some of that excitement back.
Yes.
And I think forcing every pitcher in a 40-man roster to take at least one at-bat per season may bring a little bit more spice.
I like that. I like that a lot. Well, my wild pitch of the week is kind of similar. I want to get rid of the ghost runner in baseball. And this is not, it hasn't been around for that long.
Right.
It was sort of born out of the pandemic and then became, really part of the CBA in 2023. And yes, they don't use it in the playoffs, but I miss the days of just like longer baseball games where your team is tied 3-3 in the 9th inning and you're battling it out in the 10th inning, the 11th inning, the 12th. Like, you are coming down to the wire. You're running out of guys on your bench. I don't know. I miss that. Now, would I want that? Do I want my team to be depleting their entire bullpen every single day? No, because that's not good for the players and their long-term health, and not good for my team performing well over the course of the series.
Because it is like 162 games this season. So I do understand wanting to.
But there's something so cheap about it. There's something so cheap about, like, you automatically get somebody on second base.
Would you feel better about it if they started doing it? Let's say you go 12 innings without it, and then once you hit 12, it's like, okay, we need to speed it up.
Let them play a traditional 10th inning, 11th inning, and then if you do somehow get to the 12th inning, fine, you can put somebody on second base. That's where I think they should take it. But, a game going into the 10th inning is not a big deal.
Right.
You're not doing it every night. And so I do wish that they would, because we see how fun it is in the playoffs when they don't have it.
Right.
And like it really, it forces the manager to be more strategic with how they deploy their pitching. And so I do miss, right now we are in an era where a major league manager doesn't really make any difference in a game. Like, they're just kind of hitting buttons, using analytics. And I kind of want a manager to be like in the 7th inning of a tie game. Man, we might go 10, 11 innings. Like, should I use my closer here? Should I actually end up substituting this guy for a defensive replacement, or should I kind of hold because I don't know how long this game is going to go? The strategy is half of the fun of baseball. And so I do wish that they would revisit it. I don't think it's ever going to happen because it is ultimately good for the players.
Right.
And so that's my hope. That's my wish. Get rid of the ghost runner. I think a great compromise would be what you suggested, Robyn, of deploy it later in the game. Maybe you get to that point, maybe you don't. But there are just some small tweaks that baseball can make that I think would help bridge the folks who are a little bit more on the baseball traditionalist side of things and the new age baseball fan who likes these 2.5 to 3 hour games.
Right.
I'm just a loser, and I would love to spend 7 hours at Dyken Park.
I would love it too. Like, El Tiempo. We'll be hitting you up way too often.
But I think that's a pipe dream, but you never know. You never know. There's more to come on what ultimately ends up happening with the new CBA next season.
Yeah. Tiempo. We'll be hitting you up way too often.
But I think that's a pipe dream, but you never know. You never know. There's more to come on what ultimately ends up happening with the new CBA next season.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, that is it.
That is it for this week.
That's it for this week's episode of Bad Pitch Energy. Stay tuned for more to come later in the week, and we will see you then.
We will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.